Yeah, they were totally different. I think, I mean, the main difference actually is the first time I went for exceptional talent, and then this time I went for exceptional promise.
Mm.
Um, and it was really helpful seeing your breakdown because even though I had maybe close to that 5 year criteria for talent, not all of it was specifically tech related experience. So I think that was the main difference. The second one was just the format and the structure. Like you said, I went back to my first application as well, and it's totally different. With this second one, even though you're only allowed 3 pages for the evidence, we put a lot more information in. It was a lot more visually appealing. It was just better labeled and, sort of easier to follow. So that was a big difference. And then I think also just the strategy that we had for the second one was a big difference. So, my first application, I focused on sales and VC, which just I was spread too thin across both and wasn't really focused. But this one, I focused on sales. And then we had the strategy to put my venture capital experience more in OC2. So that was really helpful. And then I would say the letters of like recommenders that I used in the first application, I was very much focused on titles and went for, experts who they were great in their field, but they may not necessarily have good in-depth knowledge of my own experience. I hadn't worked too closely with them. So the second time I was able to find people who I'd really worked with and they were able to, give some really strong points that helped my evidence. And then the two final things, like you said, time was just way more on our hands the second time, which I know not everyone is in that situation, but it really helps to be able to take time and plan accordingly rather than just, rush it and have a very, incoherent application. And then, of course, I got the support the second time. So the
Mm.
first time I did it on my own with help from, a colleague or a previous colleague from my MBA who had got the visa, but um, I think she was very focused from her lens. So it's really hard to apply what she did if our profiles didn't match. So the second time, just having you right from day one, having our checklist, being a bit more structured, having the support, I think that really helped.
Yeah, that's really